Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab, in the book. Well, I'm doing what I do for you. I got something nice for you today, so let's go. I'm ready. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual disciplines, practice daily will help and guide you to reach your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we headed with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You well when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think it's know thyself and to my yacht be true. Okay, here we go. Speaking of my yacht, we back. Right thinkers, let's talk about what is true virtue. As you see right here, this is the halls of my yacht. I showed the picture earlier. But you see down here, it says your heart conscious is being weighed. But the spell conscious with conscience, that means that your consciousness that's in your heart is what's being judged. Why? It holds all the memory of everything you thought, did, or thought about doing. Okay? That's why. And that's what speaks for you. Your heart conscious, not this conscious. They throw the brain away after you die. So let's talk about this. I just showed you a picture of Mayate in the halls of judgment, of the conscious of the individual, and they spell it again. They judging your heart conscious, the contents of the heart. That's what's important. And when you are virtuous and you're living through virtue and integrity and respect, your heart will be light as a feather. That's the concept. Hope you understand it. So let's go. Now, in order to understand what true virtue is and all of the elements that drive a human being and cause him or her to be the way he or she is, we must begin with what? The understanding of the teachings of what we know to be karma and reincarnation. The concept of you reap what you sow. Okay? You control your destiny. If you do good, you end up in a good place. You do bad, you end up in a bad place. It's a 50-50 shot. It ain't a crapshoot. No, crapshoot odds a lot less than 50%. Trust me. So, in life, you have to understand that. And you, the human being, is not simply just a mind and a body, which will someday cause to exist. Yeah, the physical body's going to run out. But the spirit that's in it don't die. Learn that, understand that. In fact, every human being, every human being, mind and body are in reality what? Emanations or expressions of their what? Eternal soul. Everything happens from the inside out. We project in persona. Your personality comes from within. And if you got an ego personality, that's the kind of person you're going to be. Arrogant, nasty, you know how I'm kind. And the mind and the body are referred to, watch this, as ego personality. If you're not enlightened, you're going on ego personality, meaning you're going with I, me. That's all you know. No God, no higher self, no, just me. That's the ego personality, which you have to what? Change. That gets you nowhere. That gets your trip back here to reincarnationville. Okay? Again, life cycle. life, death. If you don't get enlightened, you'll be back. That's the concept. Let's go. So now it is this ego personality, the I, the me, the id, who you identify with, which is you, which is temporal and mortal. Again, the physical body is temporary. Humans are temporary beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. When this human experience is over, we still got to deal with the spiritual. The spirit goes back to its maker if it's enlightened. If it don't, it go back to find another body and go back and do it over again. That's the cycle of life. Okay? And now understand this. Your soul is immortal. Your soul is perfect. Wow, what? Your ego personality, who's in control until the soul or the consciousness wakes up, is subject to error, confusion, and suffer the consequences of these actions. You, okay? When you make bad decisions, you got to suffer for them. Just like when you make good decisions, you're rewarded. And if you're ignorant, your chances, again, Brody 50-50. You make the compound the situation worse by what? Doing things that are not supposed to be done, or things you don't know what you're doing. You're going to have to pay the price for that. Hence, you're going to suffer. And that's called consequences of your actions. When they're bad, you suffer. When they're good, you get blessed. Learn how to act, learn what to do and how to be, and your life will be yours. Moving on. But you have to learn it. And if a human being, again, is aware of their deeper soul reality, meaning knowledge of self, this state of being is known as, you ready? State of enlightenment. I want all right thinkers to be enlightened, meaning know who you are. Everything else take care of self. However, if a human being does not acquire knowledge and experience of their true higher self, what happens? Then they exist in a condition we know as spiritually ignorant, aka dead, okay? Which will what? Lead to sinful behaviors, lead to pain and sorrow in their life, and it will continue until what? They either die or stop and change. Some of us die first. Some of us change. I'm the exact of that one. Now, your ego personality, and understand this. If you don't know what your ego is, you don't know yourself, first of all. Your ego is who you identify with. Carl Jung called it your id, ID, the identification of self. We all have it, so we know it as the ego. How about that? So, same thing. But the ego personality is subject to the forces of time and space. Why? Because it's in the physical body. Excuse me. And it will suffer the consequences of its actions. Again, I put a pin right there. Your actions is either going to be one of two things, good or bad. Ain't nothing else. 50-50. When you get better at performing right actions, life will seem to smooth out. Life will seem to just be a little bit. Why? Because you're doing things that keeping the fetters out of your life, meaning you're doing things that cause your own personal pain and suffering. When you don't do those things, you don't have those things. If you're married, men, women, if you don't bring an outside entity into your marriage, the marriage can survive. Once you break the seal or bring something else into the entity, the marriage is pretty much doomed. Avoid that. Why? Everybody can't come back from those. That's why. If one do wrong, the other person will hold the other person accountable. So the person who did wrong, you can't make up for the wrongdoing. You should have not done it. Don't worry about them forgiving you. All that, no. A wrong act is a wrong act. Suffer the consequences. When I got caught selling drugs, I went to jail. I didn't complain. I didn't bitch nothing. I just handled mine. Took it like a man. Why? And that's the consequences of my actions. Be responsible for them. Now just make better actions and you'll be a better person. That's what I did. Now, in understanding your actions, of course there's going to be consequences, be they good or bad. Your choice. That's where free will comes in at. This is the basis for what? The teaching of karma. Trust me, when the ego personality dies, you don't die. The soul moves on. See? This part died. The body, the physical part, if you identify with that, then you're going to die with it. And your soul just say, well, I just go find somebody to go. But if the human being, here you go, the caveat to that, if you, the human being, right thinker, have what? Discovered his or her higher self, ding, 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 by purifying their heart with righteous and virtuous spiritual discipline living lifestyle, and your mind and body are coming pure by doing those things, then your soul will move forward to what? Unite with its what? Supreme self. It go back. Again, our spirits on loan. we can't sell our soul. Why? We don't own it. We own nothing except this and this. That's it. This body. That's all we own. Oh, I own this. I own it. You don't own jack. You in the mindset of you own. You don't own jack. You own everything is on loan here. Okay. When you leave, it's still gonna be here. So whatever you own, you ain't gonna take it with you. Moving on. You need to get knowledge because that's the only thing you can take with you. Okay. Everything else stays here. Now, where we at? For higher self. Okay. United Supreme Self. Now, if the ego in a person is fettered, meaning it's in control, it's carrying you, and it's constantly keeping you in drama, constantly keeping you in a bad situation, constantly keeping you doing things that you know after you do it, you shouldn't have done it. That's the ego personality, and it lives off of that. And by ignorance, then what? Your soul moves into what? The astral plane until it what? Finds another ego personality that's about to be what? Born. The thing about when the ignorant dies, the physical body dies, and fails the heart test, your consciousness of who you was is destroyed. You no longer exist. That's called dying twice. And the Egyptians didn't want that. Why? You got no chance of redemption. You got no chance of resurrecting. You are done. Understand that? That's a severe penalty. And guess what? Every penalty from God is eternal. He don't play. He don't give you no. When he say life, it's going to be for life. He say forever, it's going to be forever. So, understand that. Moving on. If you know the rules of the game, if you're going to play this game, you need to know the rules. Why? You can abide by the rules and not make something, break some, the punishment you're going to receive for breaking the rule. You might not want to deal with that. So, learn them, understand them, and you can abide by them. Simple. Let's go. Oh, I'm doing good. We good. I got a whole nother page to go. Now, where we at? And then what? Your soul will move on. It was to answer another part. Okay, we got that part. Where we at down here? Now, what happens? Your ego personality is about to be born again. When it goes to find another body, what's going to happen? It's going to go into another world, born into time and space with another opportunity to what? Experience a spiritual being had to come into the flesh to have a human experience for what? The purpose of knowing itself. And when it don't do that and the life is over, it's got to go do it again. Reincarnation, cycle of life, come on. And what happens? That will lead to what? Discovery of its higher nature. Eventually, you get it right. This is the basis for what? Teaching reincarnation, the concept. You want to just keep recycling? Knock yourself out. If you like being here in the physical world, you like having money and you like all this physical stuff here, growing old, knock yourself out. Have at it. I'm done. Sorry about that. It ain't personal. But watch this. Now, it says, he delivers whom he pleases. Who is he? God. In that judgment day, that's the decision. Even from the what? The netherworld. Okay, he saves a man or a woman from what is what? His lot at the dictates of their heart. At judgment day, if your heart is light as that feather, you good to go. If not, you got to do what? Your spirit gonna come back again. You are done. Party's over. Bye-bye. That's the difference. And eternity go both ways. Living on in it, or being dissolved in it where you don't no longer exist or don't no longer count until other people have memory of you. That's what keeps you going, personally. If you're a good person, they'll keep you around. Eventually, it'll die out, but most people think about you every now and then. Okay, I talk to my ancestors daily. Let's go. Now, I'm going to get to this part over here. I thought it was a little, I call it fluff, but sometimes it's information, so I can't get by it. Now, at Judgment Day, this is me hurt, okay? She's there at the birthing day, she's there at death, okay? This is Renette, it represents your destiny and your fortune, okay? These are things that will be represented for you at Judgment Day. I'm getting to that lesson that's coming up. I had to put this in spec so you know when I get there. This says here to your left, Renette and Mishconnect. And from the judgment scene of the papyrus of Ani. That's what we're going to see. Mishconnect with the birthing brick, the goddess of the birthing block, presides at the birth. She presiding at the birth and also for every individual soul. And you see, this is her again, right here. I had a picture before. This is a picture of her. And now, see her sitting there right there? You see this on her head? Her headdress is cow udders. I had to get that in. But this is what she signifies. She also the birthing brick. Okay? But she represents karma. She's going to give you, at your judgment day, she's going to take all the stuff that you've done. And at standing judgment, she's going to bring it to you. That's her job. Karma gives you what you deserve. And at judgment day, that's what you're going to be judged by. What you deserve. And Mishconnect, I just pointed that out to you. Now let's read the little caption right here. Now, the utterance above are directly referring to Mishconnect or karma. All right. Many people believe that karma is equal to fate or destiny. Nope, that's Renette. That's the two girls I just showed you, the twins. However, this interpretation could not be further from the original understanding of the ancient sages, which the ancient Egyptian word Iri. It means deeds, actions that follow one. You reap what you sow. Simple. We always had that concept, and it is equivalent to the initiate word karma. The etymology of the word karma comes from the Sanskrit karman, okay, which means deeds or action, same thing. But in yoga philosophy, karma also refers to one's actions, and these same actions lead to certain experiences, and they all carry consequences. Ding, 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 ding. A consequence is what you do and what follows it. If what you do is good, the consequence is a blessing. Hence, living right, doing right, you will be blessed for that. If your action is not good, the consequences that be to not your liking. Watch, because it's going to give you what you deserve. Whatever you did, that action, whatever you gained from that action, you had to pay for that. That's all. Simple as that. Blessing, punishment. That's it. 50-50. It don't change. Moving on. I'm taking it home now. I see the clock. I got one more lesson now. I got to get through this lesson right here. So you got the etymology, understanding consequences. All that means, I reap means action. And you reap what you sow, tells you whatever you do, come back to you. Simple. I call it the old boomerang. When you throw something out there, and if it ain't good, it's coming back. It's coming back. Beware. So, in ancient Egyptian philosophy, the word Mishconnect comes from the goddess who gives who goes by the same name. She presides over birth, circumstances, and life experiences of every individual. She is the one who carries out the decree. What decree? Which have been ordained, by who? Tahuti. God's conscious, God's heart and mind decision maker after the judgment of the heart in the hall of Mayat. Everybody's on board, and everybody have a job to do. And when Tahuti keeps the records, he keeps track of everything. He knows what's going on. But it is Tahuti who records your deeds. He's your brain. He's your consciousness. He's always there. And he records your deeds, your actions, or what they call your karma of what? Every individual. Why? Because everybody has one. Everybody got a Tahuti. And then, watch this, the decrees, what the Shah, which is the body, and Renette, which is the other twins, Destiny and right here, Fortune, which are fitting. Why? For the particular individual. Everybody got their own thing. Watch this. So then when there's help of Shah and Renette, Mishconnect causes the individual to experience the proper circumstances, and it's all based on their previous deeds and actions. You're responsible. If you thought what you did got away with it, side chick, whatever, man, or whatever, you think, because nobody know, that's going to come up at Judgment Day. So you're responsible. Trust me, that's what they're trying to get you to understand. All that sneaky, we just come out of the Pisces era. Everybody was sneaky. Everybody had something going on the low. Now, transparency, everybody's starting to get exposed. Marriages breaking up, friendships breaking up. Why? Because people found out that the person was not forthright, honest, truth. How about that? They've been lying to them. When you find out about their religion, you feel the same way. Be ready to divorce that. Moving on. Had to get that in there. Let me wrap this up. The ancient Egyptians hieroglyph for the heart. It wasn't the heart. See? They used what's called the ab, a vase. Why? Because everything's stored in here. Conceptually, that's what they metaphor for the heart. Not this round thing in your chest. No, it was an ab. Why? Because it's a vessel to hold things. Let's get to the lesson right quick. I'm almost done. The ancient Egyptian hieroglyph symbol of the heart is a heart-shaped vase. The vase is a container which may be used for water, beer, wine, milk, etc. Whole stuff. Likewise, the human heart is seen as this vessel which contains your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your emotions, your unconscious memories. Everything that goes on in your life is stored in that heart, aka the vessel, the ab. In mystical terms, the heart is the metaphor for what? The human mind. A lot of people didn't know that the heart had a brain. They just found it out. Let me just bring it to your knowledge now. But the heart has always been the mind of man, including what? Your conscious, your subconscious, and your unconscious level is there at every level. Hence, they call it Tahuti. Okay, thrice great. That means at every conscious level, he's still great. He don't lose nothing. From your conscious to your subconscious to your unconscious levels, your mind is always in control. The mind is the reservoir of all ideas, convictions, and feelings. Therefore, just as these factors direct the path of your life, so too they are the elements which are judged in the heart of Mayate by the two goddesses Aset and Neptet, along with Asar. The heart then is the sum total of your experiences of your life, your actions, your aspirations, your conscience, and it's spelled again Conscience. That's conscious from the heart, or your karma. And these are judged in the balance against the feather Maya. That's what I want you to understand. If you're living right, when your heart is still on that scale, that feather, the Maya feather, it should not move. It may go this way, lighter, and that means you've been real good. But it should not go that way. If that go down, thus karma should be thought of, watch this, as what? Your total effect of a person's actions and the conduct during what? The successive phases of his or her existence, meaning your life before death. What you did, how you did, all that's recorded in the heart. But how does this affect what? Operate. How do my past actions affect my personal and future? Your experiences from your present life, or from your previous lifetime causes unconscious impressions which stay with the soul even after the previous death of the body. These unconscious impressions are what constitute the emerging thoughts, your desires, and your aspirations of every individual. We all have them. These impressions are not exactly like memories, however, they do work like memories. For example, if you had a fear in a previous lifetime or the childhood of your present lifetime, you may not remember the event that caused the fear, but you may experience certain phobias when you come into contact with certain objects or in certain people. These feelings are caused by the unconscious impressions which are coming up from the surface of what? Your conscious mind. But it is this conglomerate of unconscious impressions which would be judged in the halls of Maya and determine where your soul will go to next in the spiritual journey toward evolution or devolution, also known as the cycle of what? Birth and death, or we know it better as reincarnation, but as well as the experiences of what we call heaven or hell. The following segment from the ancient Egyptian instructions of Merkara explains this point. You know that they are not merciful on the day in which the judge, the miserable ones, do not count on the passage of years. Why? Because they consider a lifetime as but what? An hour in God's time. And after death, man remains, watch this, in existence, and his acts accumulate beside him. That's karma, bringing you your goods. And life in the other world is eternal, depending on where you're going. Again, eternal means that's it, forever. But he will arrive without sin. He who arrives, without sin, with the light heart, before the judge of the dead, he will be there as a what? A netter. That means on the good side. And he will walk freely as what? Do the masters of eternity. All those who go there live on for eternity. That's where you want to go. That was the concept of our ancient ancestors. Now we play the heaven and hell game, same thing. Okay, and wrap it up, almost home. The reference above I just read to you is his acts accumulated beside him. What that mean? That means alludes to the unconscious impressions which are formed as a result of one's actions while still alive. That memory stays with the soul. These impressions can be either positive or negative. Again, 50-50 shot. Positive impressions are developed through what? Positive actions. Righteous and virtuous living means you're going to get righteous and virtuous response. Hello? And by living a life of righteousness, aka Maya, and virtue, right thinking philosophy, this implies living according to the precepts of the mystical wisdom or being a follower of Haru, aka a Shimsu Hor. That means Shimsu Hor, follower of Haru, and Aset, meaning we follow the Anoian philosophy, Maya. These actions draw one closer to what? Harmony and peace within one's own self. Calm down. I'm almost done. And this paves the way to what? Self-discovery of what? The self within. The hidden God that's within you. You find him. You discover him for yourself through all the hard work and perseverance that you went through to get there. That's what it's all about. And the negative, this is the flip side. The negative impressions are developed through, again, all your sinful actions, all your hidden agendas, all the things you did on the low that you just want to get satisfactory from or pleasure from or whatever it was you gained for that at anybody's expense. You got to pay for that action, and that's negative, sinful actions. They are related to what? Mental agitation, disharmony, and restlessness. This implies acts based on anger, fear, and greed, depression, gloom, etc. That's all you regretting the action. You did somebody wrong, now you feel bad about it. You didn't feel bad about it when you did it to him. Stop the nonsense. You stay out all night. You want to come home and apologize for what to your wife. That don't work either. Those are things that will get you heavy heart. And these actions, again, those actions draw one into what? The outer world of human desires, meaning you will satisfy yourself. They distract the mind, and they do not allow your intellect, Usar, to fully function. Meaning you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. You really can't focus and concentrate on doing what you need to be doing, which is the right thing. Thus, existence at this level is closer to where, you ready for this? Your animal, beastly nature, in being based on an animal instincts and desires of the body, aka the flesh, and selfishness, rather than to be spiritually enlightened and mature human beings, right thinkers, and being based on reason, right thinking, selflessness, good actions, and compassion towards others, etc. I'm going to end the lesson on that. I got to see the clock. But I'm about to take you to how to purify your heart. That's what living right would do for you. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. But I'll be right back with some more. I'm not done. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. 100 minus a day. So I never know my right thinkers who practice my right thinking philosophy has passed away because we live on. Trust me.